Disney Pixar is bashing the fans for not liking their latest movie, Elio, saying that it's their fault if they didn't show up. Yep, that's crazy. And very hypocrite. Hello everybody, I'm Windy, and today we are discussing about K-pop Demon Hunter. It just blew up a few months ago and it already has a very strong fan base. The show sets up in a world when ancient demons steal human souls to feed the demon king, Guima. Fortunately, an unlikely force always tends to push them away. Free the girls that use the power of music to find them, and then it introduces us to a global K-pop girl group named huntr. While performing as superstars by day, the members of huntr, Rumi, Mira, and Zoey, are secretly hunting demons. They wield their powerful singing voices as magical weapons, using songs of hope and courage to power a protective barrier, the huntr, that keeps the demonic realm at bay. How can this success be explained? Is it because it's about K-pop, as stated in the title? Or maybe it's because of some other factors that makes it stand out amongst the flops mostly dropped by Disney Pixar. When you compare it to the movie Elio, you will find out why K-pop Demon Hunter is great. 1. The concept and world building is original, creative, and rich. Let's start with the most obvious thing, the concept. K-pop Demon Hunter concept is built firstly on a what-if question that's pure imagination. What if K-pop stars were also Demon Hunter who use their music as a literal weapon? It's a high-concept idea that's bursting with a huge creative potential, and the show leans all the way into it. We get this rich world building with the Korean culture, the huntr barrier, demons feeding the demon king with human souls, and concerts that are literally battles for the fate of humanity. The world feels big, lived in, and specific. On the other hand though, there is Elio. What's his big idea? It's about a misfit kid who wants to pursue his dreams and go with aliens. The idea in itself is great, especially when you know that the original creator wanted his story to be based on his unique childhood. Unfortunately, with the fear of losing money, Pixar decided to cancel this idea and reuse this trope of the misfit kid who wants to pursue the dreams, like they did in all their new movies. It's such a shame because the studio used to make super original stories. They've always begun brainstorming ideas with the concept, like for example, imagine toys that can talk and feel like people, or imagine cute robots that cleans an overpolluted planet Earth after being left by humans. The issue is that now Pixar starts brainstorms with the trauma or the metaphor idea told in the story, which is not a bad idea per se, but they have this tendency of overshadowing world building and character depth in favor of those. Demon Hunter gives us a world we've never seen before. Elio gives us a world we feel like we've seen a dozen times with other Pixar movies. 2. The protagonists are well written. This is where K-pop Demon Hunter absolutely humiliates modern Pixar. The girls of huntr aren't the generic strong and independent female characters in the boring Hollywood way. They feel like actual people. It doesn't focus on how well they can beat up bad guys. It shows the friendship dynamic, their flaws, their personality, and I absolutely love that in one hand, they are so badass and slay, but on the other end, they are also quirky and weird in a good relatable way. In other words, they are three-dimensional. What makes them so amazing is the fact that they are actual strong female characters that embrace their femininity, unlike the Mary Sue man wannabe. Take Rumi. She's not a safe, predictable protagonist. She's a hot mess, hiding a dark secret. She's desperate and lashes out at her friends, and she makes bad decisions. The writing isn't afraid to let her look flawed. Meanwhile, Mira and Zoey have their own dreams and fears outside of just being roommate support squad. When conflict hits, they feel genuinely betrayed. Their friendship is messy and real. And when you compare that to Elio and other latest Pixar movies, the entire personality is just, oh no, I want to be free and pursue my dreams, but I also want to make peace with family. They have one emotional note. And Pixar is so afraid of letting them be truly messy or unlikable that they feel like templates, not people. You know, they are one-dimensional. I like Demon Hunter characters so much because they feel human, while Pixar characters are utterly forgettable. 3. The villains are well written. What's up with Pixar villains recently? Remember Sid, Syndrome, Chef Skinner? Properly evil, terrifying guys that were actual threats. it seems like the studio has become allergic to real villains. They've been replaced by, oh, I'm misunderstood and troubled, and I eventually make peace with the main protagonist with a heartfelt hug. It's not a bad idea that the villain has a redemption arc. Take a look at Zuko. The problem is that it's so overused to the point where it becomes predictable, added with a poor development. The villain in Lightyear, for example, was literally just Buzz Lightyear on regrets. It feels like a therapy session, to be honest. K-pop Demon Hunter understands that a great movie needs a great villain. We have Guima, an ancient demon king who feeds on human souls. Ooh, that's evil. He's not misunderstood, he's just pure evil, and that gives the story real stakes. But it doesn't stop there. We also get the Saja Boys, a rival and viral K-pop boy band who are secretly demons sent to steal Huntr's fans. They're charismatic, talented, and genuinely threatening. The lead, Jinu, is a complex tragic figure you almost feel for, but who still does terrible things. They humiliate our heroes on stage and control their fans' minds. They raise the stakes in every scene. If your villain can't be defeated with a heartfelt conversation, you don't have a villain. And it's boring when you have a satisfying ending in K-pop Demon Hunter with villains that needs to be defeated in a killer song and an epic fight scene. 4. The narration and action are entertaining. At its core, K-pop Demon Hunter remembers that its job is to be entertaining. The action sequences are unhinged in the best way. The girls are fighting demons on a plane while fixing their makeup and singing. That's so cool. The movie never treats their femininity as a weakness. It's their power. The blend of high-octane action, musical numbers, and genuine comedy means there's never a dull moment. Damn, they make me think of the Totally Spies. Pixar, on the other hand, with the lack of depth and originality, and the trauma overtaking an entertaining plot, we have boring climax like in The Turning Red, when it's just a conversation in an astral plane where a mother and daughter talk out their generational trauma. It's a beautiful message indeed, but is it entertaining? Not really. Of course, ending doesn't have to always be an epic battle, but it feels like the trauma comes first, story comes second approach has sucked the fun out of their films. Plus, it's also overused. K-pop Demon Hunter delivers a climax where the fate of the world hinges on a concert. The resolution isn't a big speech. It's a character singing her truth, and her friends showing their support by joining her in the fight. It's told for action and music, not dialogue. You know, show don't tell. It gives you goosebumps. Pixar hands us lectures, while K-pop Demon Hunter gives us an experience. So, when Disney Pixar tries to blame us for the failure of Elio, the success of K-pop Demon Hunter is the perfect rebuttal. It wasn't the audience that failed, it was Pixar. They forgot the magic formula that made them kings in the first place. Start with a wild, imaginative idea, build a rich world around it, populate it with messy, relatable characters, and give them a real villain to fight. And most importantly, they forgot to make it fun. K-pop Demon Hunter didn't just out Pixar, it reminded everyone what they've been missing. Creativity. That's all I have to say about this amazing movie. If you enjoyed this, leave a like and subscribe, and comment your thoughts about this. Anyway, so, goodbye!